All right, thank you very much for staying with us here on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and tonight's edition of the Inside AFCON, the review edition, and of course, it has been a very, very tough evening for Ghana's Black Stars. Egypt outplaying the Black Stars and winning by 1-0. And of course, here with me to discuss the issues is ex-Ghana international Felix Aboagye, who is now a coach, deputy in charge of Liberty Professionals Football Club. Played his football in Egypt as well for the two giants, Al Ahly and Zamalek, and so knows Egyptian football to a very, very great extent. He will be helping us to do a dissection of the issues and how it happened in the game against Egypt. Of course, now it is clear that the Black Stars have set up a date with DR Congo, who topped the group in Group C. And of course, Egypt will play an North African affair against Morocco. So that's the story of the Black Stars, 1 down. What went wrong for us? If you have your ideas, then of course you'd want to share them with us on our Joy Sports page on Facebook, or Joy 997 FM, also on Facebook. You can also send me a message in my inbox. It's Nathaniel Atto, Citizen Atto. We'll be glad to add them to the list of the long list of others who are doing some dissection of the issues here on the show. Thank you very much for staying with us here on Inside AFCON. Very shortly, we'll get into talking to our man, Felix Aboagye. Remember, we're in a thick football season, and what you have to do is to be part of the AFCON, the Total AFCON Instant Win. And of course, from now till February 6th, just drive your car to the nearest Total filling station, buy 50 Ghana cedis worth fuel with your Total card or cash. And if it's with your motorbike, and of course, if it's your motorbike, then you can buy 20 Ghana cedis, and you'd get a scratch card from the attendant. Scratch it, and what you see is what you receive. It's as simple as that. And the souvenirs range from branded caps, footballs, jerseys, to key rings, and many more. The other time I won an air freshener. So it's very, very easy. So you can win loads and loads of goodies in the Total AFCON Instant Win. It's the football season, and remember that terms and conditions apply, and you can see press and posters for details. Total is committed to better energy and is a partner of African football, supporting us a great deal to bring you this show. Would also like to say once again a big thank you to Pepsi, there for more, still 1 Ghana cedi per. Of course, Total Ghana, committed to better energy, and of course NIIT, quality computer education. All right, Felix, thank you very much, Coach, for your time.
I'm honored to be here. It's been a long time.
I know. Yeah. Sure.
I don't know why you don't call me again, but hopefully I'm back.
And we're going to be doing a lot together this year.
I know.
Felix, you watch the game, and it's a very, very uncomfortable place for any person who's watching the Black Stars and the Ghanaian and is supporting the Black Stars team. What went wrong?
Yeah, so many things went wrong, right? We have to go back to when Uganda played Ghana and Tamale. We played Ghana in Tamale, and we drew against them. And we went to Egypt, they walloped us 2-0. And prior to the tournament, we didn't play any serious friendly match. We went to pre-season in Dubai. We had only one game, and we came to the tournament, I think, against Uganda. It's a 1-goal project. We play against Mali, 1-goal project. And looking at the performance, looking back all these games, you saw that the form of the national team players was not up to the standard needed to play an AFCON matches like this. And today it shows that the players are not fit enough. The cohesion of the team is not up to standard. And I think there are so many things that went wrong, and they have to come back and reflect on all those issues before we go the match against DR Congo. But it's the combination of so many factors, and I think we'll go into details and see how best we can maneuver for the Black Stars to win our next game.
A very big red flag raised by Coach Felix Aboagye, an ex-Ghana international as well, who played his football in Egypt. Remember, you can join us on our Facebook walls for the discussion. It's Joy Sports and Joy 997 FM. We'll be glad to have your thoughts on what you see wrong and what should be corrected as we go into this very, very big game against DR Congo. Of course, we're bringing you Inside AFCON as a review edition, and it's under the radar. Ghana versus Egypt is in focus. All right, now we'll be doing a bit of the video on the highlights of the game. But Asamoah Gyan started the game, and there's a lot of criticism that has come. I was monitoring social media about Coach Avram Grant and some of his choices. Some also disagreeing with him starting Asamoah Gyan when he probably should have been rested.
Yeah, you see, prior to this tournament, I think Asamoah Gyan was on the injury list. He was not 100% fit. Playing against Uganda and playing against Mali. The DRU prior to this tournament also was not 100% fit, and you've already qualified. So as a coach, what do? You rest your best players and make sure that you give them the necessary needed rest, and they'll be fit, and going into the next stage of the competition, they'll be ready for you. But I share some of the Ghanaians, the sentiments that they raised against Avranga, that Asamoah Gyan should have been rested. Yes, of course, should have been rested. He's our key player. He's very, very influential, and you know he has got injury problems. So why play him? Now we have to lose him for the rest of the tournament. Probably we have to lose him for the rest of the tournament. And now we're going to play against DR Congo, the informed team of the tournament at this moment. All the pundits have tipped them to win the tournament, and we are going to face them with half-fitted players of the Blasters. Psychologically, we are down also, and it will be very, very difficult for us to recuperate and come back and face DR Congo, which would make our job a very, very difficult one itself.
All right, trust Felix Abuaji to say it the way it is and put it very, very bluntly. You can also get very blunt on our social media platforms. It's remember, the hashtag is JoyAFCON, and you can get on Twitter on JoySportsGH or Joy Sports on Facebook, and Joy 997 FM on Facebook as well. All right, so before we go for the highlights again, now you saw a lot of disjointed play. I mean, we were able to make some chances, some very good chances and all, but a key player and a playmaker like Christian Atsu, for instance, had been marked out completely and he couldn't recover.
Yeah, you saw Atsu was very influential in our first game. I think he won the man of the match, and against Mali also he was very, very creative, and I think he is the most enlightened player in our team, who engineer our chances and other things. So since he was marked, I think there was no any other player who took the mantle to at least raise the standard of the Blasters, and it's a very bad news for the Stars, since when Atsu is not on his game, there is no any other player to. But I also raised some concerns about Jonathan Mensah, who was not 100% fit prior to this the tournament. Most of the fans were saying he was not having a regular club, he was not playing actively, and the coach played him, and today you saw he was not up to standard, you know. So
but at least he performed creditably. Yeah, if we have to be fair to him, I think Jonathan Mensah was, I mean, he was able to put things in order a little bit. Yeah, himself and John Boy.
Yeah, I think they did very, very well, extremely well. But you see, the build-up even from the defense to the middle to the attack was disjointed, and we needed somebody like Wakasu, who started the game, because he was very, very physical. Do you
think Wakasu came in a bit too late?
Yeah, he came in a very bit too late because he was very, very physical, and the Egyptians were afraid of him. Since before he came, the goal already had been scored, and there was nothing he could do. But we credit the Egyptians. Technically they were superior than the Blasters. They moved the ball around, and they got the goal needed for them to qualify to the next competition, which we have to give credit to them. Though the Blasters didn't perform averagely, you know, but the Egyptians play above themselves, and they got the needed 3 points at stake.
All right, so there's a message from Nana Kwekwajiman, who's also a regular analyst on this set of shows in Inside AFCON, and he says, Nat, this is the last stop. DR Congo is the last stop in this campaign, and meeting Morocco would have even been worse. Okay, those are his thoughts. I don't know what your thoughts are. Send them to us, and I would add them to the many thoughts that are coming through, in this very big conversation about Ghana versus Egypt and what went wrong and what should be corrected as we get ready for that big game against DR Congo, in form DR Congo. All right, so we'll do the highlights now, the highlights of the game between Ghana and Egypt, and after that we do some more in dissecting the issues. All right, so there we go, Coach Avram Grant. His body language on the on the touchline, he's always been a calm and cool person, but
yeah, I think he's really disappointed because he thought with the performance that they have put up in the last two games, maybe might give them the extra edge to beat the Egyptians. But I thought he will be really, really disappointed, and going to the next game, I think he has to review his tactics, his formations, because we're going to meet the best informed team of the moment. And if you can play below par like this, I think we're going to have a lot of problems.
All right. Now, the Egyptians were very fast on the ball. Interplay was super
creative.
And they were very, very creative on the ball, and the pace was also up there.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't stand it. Has it got anything to do with the psychology as well? The psychology of you've qualified already, so you don't need to exert yourself?
That's what I thought right from the beginning. Before the start of the match, I thought since we have already qualified, sometimes psychologically it affects the players, and that's what exactly that happened in the game. You could see when we started the game, our players were slow in reaction. Building up was too slow. The supply line from the midfield to the attack was not coming, and Jan was alone, and Samuel Tete was not available with Jan, and you could see that all the team was disjointed, and the Egyptians were fast on the ball. They were pacey, they were creative, and they do a lot of job because they needed the win more than the Ghanaians. So I think all is not lost yet. What we need to do is we come back to the drawing board and make sure that at least we organize ourselves better and meet DR Congo. It's not going to be an easy game because DR Congo are on top of their game, and they are useful and exuberant players. They can run for 90 minutes. I think we have a lot of job to do before we go there and meet them.
Let's do a quick assessment of the players who were introduced. We had Emmanuel Ajimambedu, we had a couple of others as well. What do you make of their contribution to the game? Jonathan Mensah got to start today.
Yeah, you see, before the game started, psychologically they knew we have already qualified. So why should they risk with injuries? Why should they with cautions and other things? So mentally they were all not ready for the game. Ajimambedu came in and he couldn't make an impact. Wakasu came in and the game was already dried down, and Jonathan Mensah was not up to that standard, And it's a couple of so many factors, and we have a lot of job to do. We have to start to motivate the players again and make sure that we raise the mentality to the level that the winning mentality. So Avram Grant has a lot of job on his hands.
Now, let's also talk about Barnsley's Yadom, his introduction into the game. What do you make of his level of confidence and his contribution as well?
He was not bad. I think he made some moves, some runs. He was joining the attack. He was passing good, and you could see the body language was okay with the team. But in all, it's a teamwork, and and since the team is not functioning very, very well, his contribution will not be counted. But I think on a good day, he did a good job, and we have to congratulate him for that. It's not easy.
All right. Now, we've spoken about Christian Achu and how, you know, he was marked out of the game today. It was terrible for him. With some of the aerial balls, you know, he couldn't even, you know, pick them. But I do not understand why, for instance, our coach could not tell the boys to keep the ball on the ground, because the Egyptians had a reach advantage and a height advantage. Yeah,
you know, it reached a point we have to pass the ball from defensive to the attacking third, which I think was not good on our part, because the Egyptians were reliant on passing the ball on the ground, and we sometimes playing long ball to Asamajan, which was not effective. Achu was very, very influential, and I think he was marked out from the game, like how you said. But I know he will come back. He is a quality player. He is the most creative player in our team, and hopefully he will organize himself and make sure that the next game he will be on top of his game.
Tekwete, he also came on at a point.
Yeah, yeah, you know, he looks like he's a good player, you know, but I don't know the real position of him, Tekwete. I think maybe he might be used wrongly or any sort of thing. But he has to get into the team, because there are so many local players on the scene, Latif Blessing and others, which I believe must be sent to AFCON for future, you know, because we need to build this time around, you know, our future stars who are coming to take over from, you know, the aging ones.
He is your player, Liberty Professionals. You know, tell me how. I mean, you have to tell me how he's taken.
Top scorer.
I know all of that. You know, but tell me about how he's taken all of this. I mean, the fact that he was not able to make it. He was the MVP in the Ghana Premier League.
He was very, very disappointed, because he thought he has done a lot in the league. He is the MVP player, he's the top scorer, and he's not been sent to AFCON, which means that it will definitely demoralize him. And Latif is a very influential, very, very creative player we can tap on in the next 2 or 3 years. Why didn't we send him? Because you know, in the next year or so, Latif can be the best player in the whole country with the Blasters and anything. We have to ask questions that why didn't we send him to AFCON? It's a great question that we all have to answer.
All right, so the best player in the Ghana Premier League, you know, not able to go to the AFCON. That happened some weeks back. We've gone past that, but it's coming up in the discussion. So, the defense, you spoke about how bringing in Jonathan Mensah distorted the flow of the defense.
Yeah, you see, Amate was a rock of Gibraltar, playing with John Boy the last 2 games. And Amate was shifted. He was shifted to the holding midfield, and Jonathan Mensah came in, which I think with John Boy didn't match very, very well. In all, his contribution was not perfect, and the linking up from the defense to the attack also was disjointed. But we give credit to him. That is his game, and I think he will learn from that, and maybe next time he will know how to cope with the situation.
The pitch has been a major source of big discussion. Would you say that the pitch also contributed? The Black Stars are playing a 3rd game on here. Yeah,
you played the 3rd game on the same pitch, which I don't think you have to complain, because everybody was playing. The Egyptians also, they were complaining, but they were be able to put the ball on the ground and pass the ball. So why did you complain? You have won your 2 games on the same pitch. So why did you complain? You know, they have problem, but I don't think it's a factor that the Blasters have to rely on and say that because of the pitch that we lost. They have to organize themselves and make sure that at least the next game they will play better.
All right, now let's talk about goalkeeper Razak Brahima. I mean, there was a back pass to him, and it was just that the chance was not converted well. Otherwise, would have gone down by a second goal.
Yeah, from the beginning, I thought Abraham might even change him, you know, because he kept 2 clean sheets, and we're going to our next game, which I felt he should have given another goalkeeper the opportunity also to come and show his talent. Now he fumbled, you know, he didn't play well today, and I believe he will learn from it also, and he make sure that at least in our next match he will really organize himself very well.
All right, so very shortly we'll be going into what we can do against Congo DR. Is a very great problem from what I'm monitoring on social media and some of the responses that we're getting. So we'll be getting into that in a bit and picking up some of the thoughts and some of the comments that are coming in. This one from Daniel Tete. Daniel Tete says, well, this performance has opened up a lot of cracks in our game, and we need to sort them out before we play DR Congo. Thank you very much, Daniel, for that message here. And Kwekwafo also says, I think it will be a very tough game, and I don't see the Black Stars beating informed DR Congo. All right, thank you very much for that message there. I'll be sharing some more as we go along. But it looks almost impossible. Is it? Okay, Nanajiman sent a message that said he is happy we're not even meeting Morocco because he thinks they would have beaten us even worse. Is that the case?
Yeah,
do you think that you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with him, and I agree with the one who sent the message that it has opened a crack for us to organize ourselves before we play our next game, which I think is very important. You know, prior to this tournament, I thought we are not on top of our game, and the form itself was not good. And looking at our 2 matches against Uganda and Mali was also not up to the necessary standard to win a tournament. So losing today, I believe it's a great opportunity for us to reorganize our strategy and our organization. The defensive setup, the midfield, the creativity was not there, and the attack, you know, the punch was not there. Players running after opponents' defenders and other things, going to the byline, putting the ball inside the box for the strikers to score, and so many other things. So I believe losing today has really opened some cracks, and I think we have to organize ourselves unless we're going to face DR Congo, and it will be a very difficult task ahead of us.
All right, so Diomersi Mbokani and his teammates are coming up against the Black Stars. They have shown a lot of form so far, and it surely is looking like it will be a very tough one. We'll do a round of commercials. After that, we discuss how we can tackle this game. Just gone by was the set of goals without tonight's matches. Of course, the set of goals that we've seen so far in the tournament. We'll be doing that and updating it as we go along and bring you the review editions of Inside AFCON. Now, the big question: how do we go about the game against DR Congo?
In the first place, I think we have to change the perception about how we view other nations, because you could see that some of the countries have catch up with the big guns. DR Congo, Morocco, they're picking up, you know, and we feel that we are Ghana, you know, we can beat any other country. We can beat Egypt so easily. We can beat Mali so easily. And you could see that we struggle against Uganda. We struggle against Mali, and Egypt has done what wallop us. So we need to reassess our thinking, and as we are going to face DR Congo, a human job, and I believe we have to play above ourselves. You know, our playing level is below par. You know, we have to raise the level of our game and make sure that our building up from defensive to midfield must be very quick and very fast. If you look at the Egyptians, their build up was very quick and very fast. You know, the counter attack was there, and so many things that they did which our Ghanaians we didn't do. We only rely on our our power and our flair, which was not helping us. So we have a lot of job, and Afghan Grant also have to look at the selection and how he pick his players, because the DR players have to will be really, really physical, and they'll be coming all out to win. So it's a very, very big job for Afghan Grant.
A big job for Avram Grant indeed. Let me do some messages. This one, these are on our Joy FM Facebook wall. Elvis Duboating says, Avram Grant's substitutions are terrible. Andrea Yu was a passenger throughout the game, hence I was expecting him to take him off instead of Ajiman Bedu. Technically, Grant is bankrupt. Now, Kweku Ampomabuahin says, Ghanaians always struggle with North African opponents, so I think technically it is a better option to play Congo in the next round. These are messages that are coming in on our pages. Well, so it's a big job. It's cut out, and it's good to go for Ghana. Now, what we need to do is just make sure that we go around the very tough DR Congo side. We'll do a review of the game between Uganda and Mali. Uganda and Mali are out of the competition, but at least Uganda were able to tell a good story at the end of this game. Right, so at least Uganda got to get a point out of that game. At least, you know, they get to smile away with a point.
Yeah, I think they both teams they have written their names, and they've done a good job. At least we'll remember them. They were unfortunate, and they have to go out in such a way. But better luck next time. Next time when they come, I think they are going to do a better job than what they did this time around. And
for Uganda, who made a return to this tournament after so many decades, how would you like to see them, you know, redevelop?
Yeah, they had a lot of aspirations before they when they came into Gabon. I think after they hold Ghana in Tamale for 0-0, they thought, I think they were ahead of Ghana. They could beat Ghana in the opener, and unfortunately they lost. That demoralized them. But they have done well. They nearly even won against Egypt. They were unlucky. The Egyptians won by 1-0, and today they had 1-1. They have to go out, but they have done well, and I think they will go home, reorganize themselves, and make sure that at least they will do a better job next time.
Well, our tournament correspondent Benedict Owusu is on phone. We've managed to reach him, and he'll bring us up to speed on what the latest is after that game. Benedict, you have been there close to the Black Stars team. Now, what's been happening after the game?
Well, Nat, let's briefly talk about the game before I even tell you what the players and Afam Grant said at the mid-zone and also at the press conference. Not a very good game from the team, from the blast of the whistle into the first half, and you know, in the second half, we're all hoping that at least they were going to bounce back after conceding that free kick in the early minutes of the game. Unfortunately, as Samoa Dan's injury was a huge disappointment for everybody at the stadium, and also with the lineup that Afam Grant actually put up before this game, when we saw 4 changes to the starting lineup that we saw in the game against Mali and Uganda, we all thought that something new was going to happen, but it looks like this wasn't even was not what we thought, or it wasn't what we all expected from the team, because somebody like Samuel Tete, yes, gave his best, but Andy Yadom was very shambolic for me. If I'm to rate Andy Yadom 10/10, I probably will rate him 2/10. Somebody like Adman Bidi was just walking around the pitch. He didn't know what exactly his role was, and he really caused us lots of problems. And at some point, some of the players, even on the pitch, were complaining about how he was playing. John Boy played very well for me, as well as Daniel Amati. He was trying to combine 2 roles, playing in midfield as well as playing in defense. Jonathan Mensah was shambolic as well. It amazes me how Jonathan Mensah has lost form. The player that we've seen him over the years is not the same player we saw him today, and it's a major worry for us. And I feel Afam Grant at the press conference mentioned that yes, the team Actually did not really play to his expectation. He was expecting more from them, but he didn't really get what he was looking for. But yes, so the most important thing is that we've already qualified, and this game has really taught them a big lesson going into that game against DR Congo. For the biggest disappointment in the game is not just about the result, but it's about Asamoah Gyan. You know, today was his 99th cup, and we're all looking forward to him scoring that 50th goal, but Asamoah picked up an injury and couldn't continue the game. Jan spoke about his injury. He was very blunt, told us that he himself does not know if he's going to continue the tournament or not because he feels pain in his leg. So he's just going to wait for the MRI scan and even told us or, entreated us to pray for a miracle because he, at this point, is feeling pains in his leg. So it's only a miracle that can get him back onto the pitch. That's what Asamoah Gyan said. So it will be a huge disappointment for Ghanaians that Asamoah Gyan is able to continue the tournament. And the other players like Ajman Bidu admitted that yes, his performance was below par, but he believes that he will bounce back in the game against DR Congo. For somebody like Samuel Tete, who was handed his Nations Cup debut today, he was very excited, to have played. He said he actually wasn't expecting it to come that fast, although he's a member of the team, but he believes that he managed to give out his best, and you all admit that Samuel Tete today played very well for the team. We had the opportunity to also speak to Christian Atsu. Christian Atsu was really frustrated with the scoreline. He was actually looking for that revenge after playing so well in those two matches and also playing so well in our last game against the Egyptians in the 2018 World Cup qualifier. So he was actually looking forward to Ghana beating, Egypt after doing so well. So, Christian Atsu was very, very frustrated with the results, especially when we're also going to make a long journey from here to OEM. And it's not just about the players. The Egyptian players, Mohamed Al Mohammadi, who plays for Hull City, was so excited when I spoke to him that, at least they stopped the group and they are going to stay here. His concern was a trip from here to OEM. Almost everybody here, journalists, players, are complaining about the trip from this place to OEM because when you're going to OEM, it's not like maybe you're going to get a straight flight from Port Gentil to OEM. You have to go back to Libreville, catch a flight to Equatorial Guinea, and then come back to OEM with a helicopter. So, it was just playing on their minds, especially the Egyptians. And for them, they were so excited. And one of their players told me that they were so excited to have won this game and top the group. But for the Black Stars, it was huge disappointment for them. But they believe that, going into the game against DR Congo, the quarterfinals, they will bounce back.
All right, so Benedict also will say thank you very much to you. Thanks so much. We'll be doing some more with you as we go along tomorrow. Thank you very much. Benedict Owusu, our tournament correspondent there, and he's spoken about something very crucial, about traveling to OEM. And apparently from what he's telling us now, they'd have to travel out of Gabon to Equatorial Guinea and, come through to OEM with helicopters. I mean, this surely is going to be stressful.
Yeah, it's going to be stressful, and that's African football for you. The traveling distance are not very comfortable for the players, and it's maybe telling on them and that all is not good, But we all have to take our focus on this game, especially this game. Why there were so lapses? Why should you allow all these things to happen? This time around you have to fly from. You are not going to play at your stadium. You have to move from another stadium and to DR Congo where they are playing, and you go and meet them. I'm not happy about the Blaster. What is going on? Why did he keep Asamoah Gyan on the field of play in the first place? We have already qualified and he's not 100% fit. So why did you rest him? Maybe he wanted to make history. He wanted to be the best player who has scorer and what not. The team is important than one player. But it's gone and passed, and we have to organize ourselves and make sure that at least we organize before we meet DR Congo.
Is a win possible at all for the Black Stars?
Yeah, when it comes to difficult situation, I trust the Black Stars. Sometimes it has really opened up some more lapses that we didn't foresee. And we have 2 or 3 days to organize ourselves in training and make sure that at least the players' mentality are up to scratch. And on a good day, I trust the Blasters that I think they can raise the level of play. And probably as a Asamoah, if that's the end of play for the tournament, we never know. But who is going to take the mantle when Asamoah is not around? That's the main problem, you know. And I believe they can put their acts together, and on a good day, I trust the Blasters. They are going to win against DR Congo.
Oh, I'll take your words. All right, so Felix Aboagye is assistant coach of Liberty Professionals and also an ex-Ghana international, played for the 2 Egyptian giants, Al Ahly and Zamalek, during his active career. He's an Olympian as well, scored a wonderful header against Brazil in the Atlanta 96 tournament. Now, just before we wrap up, let me just remind you that you can feel the football fever this season with fantastic goodies from the Total AFCON Instant Win. And from now till February 6th, when the tournament ends, drive your car to the nearest Total filling station, buy with cash or with a card, 50 Ghana cedis. And if it's with your motorbike, it's 20 Ghana cedis. You would receive a scratch card from the attendant, scratch it, and what you see is what you win. It's as simple as that. And of course, the goodies range from branded caps to footballs, to jerseys, key rings, and air fresheners, and many more. So what you see is what you win. And remember, you can win loads of goodies in this Total AFCON Instant Win. It's a football season. Remember, terms and conditions apply, and you have to see press and posters for details. The Total Africa Cup of Nations, Total is a partner of African football. Would also like to say thank you to Pepsi, there for more, still 1 Ghana cedi per. Once again, Total Ghana, committed to better energy, and of course, NIIT Ghana, quality computer education. Thanks to the whole production team. Thanks to all of you for watching. Remember, I'll be back tomorrow at 14 hours with the preview edition, of course, the afternoon edition of the show. There are no games, of course, so we'd have to revert to sports today, and then in the evening, we'll do something on this show. So thank you all very much for watching once again. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.
Total, committed to better energy, and Pepsi, there for more, still 1 Ghana cedi per.